So let me tell you the story about Chiron. Chiron is not a planet, it is actually an asteroid. It's a centaur body that travels between Uranus and Saturn. But where it sits in your chart tells you something very deep about who you are and what you came here to change. So we often call Chiron the wounded healer. It points to like your deepest wound and a lot of times your greatest gift at the same time. And here's the part that can sometimes be overlooked. Those two things are always often the same thing. So I found Chiron during my first dark night of the soul. I was in the middle of my own spiritual awakening, and I loved astrology since I was a kid, even as a preacher's kid. And as a Scorpio, I've always been pulled towards, what's underneath the surface. But finding Chiron in that particular season of my life changed my whole path. And honestly, it is the reason that I'm talking to you right now. Because once I understood that Chiron is in your story, in your birth chart from the very beginning, saw my childhood wounds completely different. And I had a lot more compassion with myself, and I got a lot softer with everybody else in their wounds, because when you integrate Chiron, it stops just being a wound and it actually becomes your superpower, right? It becomes part of your story that only you can give to the world. So the myth matters here. In Greek mythology, Chiron was a wise and gentle centaur, a master of medicine and prophecy, and he knew how to heal everyone. But he carried a wound that would not close, and he could not heal himself. And that pain is exactly what made him the greatest healer of all time, or his time rather. And so to the point that Carl Jung took that myth and gave us the wounded healer. The idea that real healing doesn't come from avoiding your pain, it actually comes from facing it honestly. Healing here means slowing down, being in your body, and letting the body become a place of healing instead of just a stage for achievements or performance or production or proof or all of these things. Chiron and Taurus is going to be here for a while, so let it grow you. And hear me, suffering is not sacred, but facing your wounds honestly, that is the way through. It's honestly the only way through.